All right, we're almost there. So now we're going to put it together because one of my goals for you was to be able to take away like a practical action plan, kind of putting all this together. So in your workbook on page 7, you're going to really write down some things, your personal plan for action, right? So for the sis, that's like, where do I start with this center? I know you're like, oh my God, I don't know about Google, but someone gave you some good advice. So maybe I need to get very specific about who I'm searching for. Maybe I need to just start talking to people in my community about what I want to do, because someone else close to you may know somebody that they can also connect you with, right? So I think we have to move past, and this is a good one too, in terms of the mindset. What's that limiting belief that's holding you back, that makes you think I can't find this, right? Or that it's so hard for me to search. How do I switch that, right? So we're going to put it all together on that page, including adding the affirmations for those fears. For example, I'm fully equipped to succeed with what I have right now. I am enough and I know enough. Right? What's the cost of you not waiting? So take a second to look at page 7 and start to jot some things down. So looking at this page here, treatment plan for action. How do you want to show up next? What's your next move? Maybe it's figuring out what my message is, what I like to talk about. What's the message you want to share with the world? I want to know girls in residences are powerful, right? That we have the life skills to succeed. I don't know. And then I'm encouraging you to try to push down to page 8. What are your next 2 steps to move forward? If you can just get 1 step down today, because see some big goals around like getting licensed and things like that. That's cool. Writing out a vision and mission for your program. That's cool. Okay, getting on some insurance panels. Okay, all right, yeah. And even if there's things that are big, that are just big, like going to college, cool. But start thinking about, all right, like what can I start thinking about doing? What can I start researching? So I'm already kind of getting a head start, right? Yeah, I'm working towards my license, but how else can I start like shaping up the vision for myself, right? How can I start getting more clear on my offer? All of those things. So we're gonna put some magic on this here. And I just really want to take a moment to just kind of like celebrate you guys too, I think, because you are doing the work. And I do want to challenge you to take some of the action this month, right? And part of the bonus for me is I do want to continue doing some of this work, but I know it's not for everybody, but it's really for folks who, like my bosses in the room, who are really ready to work on these things, right? Like if you're going to college, you might not be ready to do things, but if you're like, yo, I've been there, done that, and like I'm ready to kind of build out my next offer, I heard building out my practice, building out coaching, I do want to invite you into this next space. And I think this is going to be your next level from what we've been doing, where you can have the accountability to do the work that you're doing. I think that's what really made the most sense for me, was having that accountability and knowing what I know now and really continuing to rely on those things. So I told you I was working on something else in the beginning. And one of the things that I'm working on next is a community for like-minded folks who are trying to grow and work on just really like the business side of things and like the marketing visibility. I think the things that you guys recognize that you do need to work on. And Aura, I sent you an invitation to this already because you were super helpful today, answering questions, telling me to record. So I already sent you a little back invite, my dear. All right. Everybody else, they don't get that. All right, let me find what one of the things that I'm working on next is really a community for that accountability as well as the skills. And I call it the Couch to Business Collective, playing off of that, like, you know, therapists, everybody come sit down in the couch, or again, we've been sitting on the skills. And what I'm trying to do is have a place where we can get all the things that we need. And for some of you guys that are familiar with like learning platforms, it's essentially that, but you get the skills that you need, so you don't have to go everywhere to look for it, which was what was a huge challenge for me. It's one thing to know your profession; it's another thing to step out of that role and like know a business, and that was a big shift. And what sucked was a lot of people within my profession was a little bit stingy. So when you talk about scarcity mindset, I think I experienced that a lot, and but I'm not mad at it because it made me go into other communities, other business spaces and things like that. And it just forced me to grow in a different way. But I think now I'm a little bit more in like a give back kind of space. So what's cool about this is that you come into it and the skills will be here. So you have some just simple things, getting to know you, welcome, that kind of stuff. But the one that I'm working on to add is this one, the visibility and launch kit. So things like getting to know your why, so you can figure out your next offer. So it'll explain to you how to do that, how to get the clarity, some of the things that you guys were talking about, challenging you to get out your comfort zone and what that means. So the worksheets and things that you need to do that, how to take your expertise to the next level. The next couple of things I'm adding on there is how to help you figure out your next offer, 20-minute marketing for coaches, therapists, and creatives, and some couple of bonuses and things like that. So if you came in, this would be available to you. So you got the visibility launch kit. That's what's in that classroom. And we're going to continue to add. What I really love about this space is you can actually earn different things. So the more you participate, you get to unlock different things. So you won't see it on mine because this is like the admin behind the scenes. But if you came in, like this will be locked for you, this will be locked for you. Creating your custom freebie will be locked for you. But as you earn things by participating, showing up, really being a part of a community, which I love, you get to unlock things like the private co-working session. So we're gonna do some branding together, the coaching session, things like that. So this is my new space, y'all. This is my new baby. So I'm working on more of like a membership platform, and not something I think was in my sight before, but I love a space where, and I have other groups, but I like this because we can be a little bit more proactive together, and you could just find what you need. Like you go on Facebook, you got to scroll through so many different things, you get distracted. This not so much. You really get what you need. It's just very organized and clean, which I love. So I'm just trying to streamline that for folks. So that's my baby. So if it's something that you want ongoing help with, certainly let me know. And I'm gonna put the link there. What's cool right now is it's only $5 except for Aura. Or you did your thing. So you got the free link. But for everybody else, right now it's $5 a month. That's gonna continue to go up and all of that jazz. So that's there. If that's something that you're interested in, totally up to you. Who's there? You can always ask me questions about that. But otherwise, I would love to hear from you guys what was helpful for you today. Y'all are leaving with a whole plan. Okay. So what was helpful about today? What's something that you are walking away with? Leave me some of that, please. That fills my cup. I like about school too, because originally I was trying to, for the people that are interested in like tiers and membership and things like that, build it on like my website, and but the community aspect was important to me, but it is too much to manage all over the place. So now it's a way to sort of consolidate everything in one place. So it's easier to manage all the pieces that are involved with like building tiers and building memberships. So if you like something visual, I think school is a good place to build out some communities, depending on what you're interested in. All right, give me a takeaway. Give me a takeaway. Give me a takeaway. Oh, I'm glad. Yes, the workbook was the bomb. Yes. Looking into my life in depth with good questions to answer. Yes. Right? Like, come on. Have I been in one lane? Right? Am I playing too small? Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Some of us kind of got into these careers and all of that because like it was just a thing to do, right? And we are attached to things as well. And it's like, okay, like if I challenge that, what would it look like? And I promise you, if you do it afraid, you'll get like just better and better and better at it. There's so many things I'm able to do now with ease because I kept doing it, and I did it when I was afraid, and I didn't know if I could do it. Right. I'll give you one more tip too, for those of you guys that are trying to get out there and kind of build your credibility and authority. Also think about things like conferences that may have what you do. So I should give y'all this as a homework. So your homework is to finish the workbook. Your homework is to think about 5 places that I can, whether it's, I'm going to say pitch to, either pitch to or share your story, right? Because in a way, sharing your story is an indirect pitch, right? Because people are going to get to know you and what you do. Some people will be drawn to you to ask about that. So, so 5 places you can share your story or kind of pitch to. And that brings me back to where I started. A great place to pitch is conferences. So if there's specific things you're interested, the person interested in, like BIPOC youth, find some youth conferences and go to it. A couple of things will happen. You'll start to run into people that do the work, right? And that becomes people that you can talk to. You'll get to strike up conversations with people. They'll get to start to know you, and you get to learn like the inner workings of things that you wouldn't normally get just being on the outside, right? And some of it may be different. Like I've gone to business conferences. You know, some of them are fun, right? And then I've also gone to more professional conferences, like that's related to my profession, and not really so much because I was necessarily interested in the topic, but because I was really trying to figure out navigating the space from like a business standpoint too, right? I've spoken at a lot of conferences, so think about places that you can start to offer your thing that's important to you, where you can start to speak about it. Where can I speak about youth? Where can I speak about intergenerational trauma? Where are those parenting conferences that I can go to, right? Who else may want this for me? Where are those business conferences that are big on wellness that I can kind of get to, right? And how can I integrate it? And you'd be surprised. We reached out to another like law firm. We're just hanging out with law firms because we had some luck with them. A conference that we're going to that we pitched to, and the conference is free. But why we wanted to do it was because one, the ticket was like $495, and it's in the city, and it's they have over 100 people coming. So we asked them questions, and so that tells me a lot. It tells me that there's a caliber of people that have the funding to come to that, whether their firm is sending them, whether they just have it that they're going to. So we're probably going to be in front of a lot of people that maybe the people that we need to bring us in to do workshops, and it's like different firms from all over the US. So we reached out and just asked, do you need someone to talk about whatever the topic was, like stress and wellness in the workplace, and whatever we pitched, right? And they said, yeah, we have a panel, and they have a panel talking about mental health and wellness with no mental health and wellness professionals, right? And nobody's thinking like, oh, why don't we find an actual professional, right? And it went from on paper, like, oh yeah, we'll just give y'all like 5 minutes. But then when we got in, had a conversation with them, it went from that to like, now I'm moderating the panel, and they gave us like a 15-minute slot, right? And we get to share our information, right? So it's a win for us because we get in front of people that we really wouldn't. And it just creates opportunities that we can work the mess out of that room to try to get to. So again, look for things in the area that you want to be in to speak at, right? Or to just go to get familiar. And then also when you're there, figure out ways to get in front of people too, okay? Yes, position yourself to share your dream and make it widespread. You have to be visible. Nobody will know if you don't talk about you and what you do. We're very good at creating. I gotta stop talking. We're very good at creating. We'll spend hours there, honey, but we won't talk about it. That's a fear, and we got to get over that. Nobody will know what you do if you don't talk about it. All right. Thank you guys so much. I hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to see what y'all are up to. Maybe I'll come hang out with me in our school community as well. We're going to continue to build and add to that. It's a growing community. It's going to be really based on what people need to. But such a pleasure. And yeah, tell your friends you had a good time. And I'll send you guys a copy of this replay as well. All right. Have a good one.